Hello and welcome to tonight's weather video. The humidity's back, the clouds are back, the murkiness is back. Yeah, I know, I hate it. We do have some thunderstorm activity as well today, so we'll get into all of that. Yeah, very muggy out there right now, right off the bat. We can't load the weather and hazards map because it's saying there was a problem retrieving hazard information. So we can't load observation. It says syntax error. Unexpected end of JSON input. You know, there's so many errors on the web. This never happened until we know until that, got into office. And now this happens all the time because the government computers have been broken by him. Okay. We've got the weather and hazards back. All right. So whatever the case is, it seems like it got straightened it out. But 70 maybe by calling him out, maybe. But 72 at islip to 2.66, very muggy. In the alley, it's even worse. It's stifling in the alley. How about 76 degrees?
Oh, I hate this place!
Yep, it's hell where I live. And especially when the weather's like this. We'll go and we'll look at our high temperatures today on the map, and you'll see Long Island wasn't too bad. We had upper 80s in Jersey, mid to upper 80s. How about 88 in Toms River? But islip only got to 79. Long Island was only in the upper 70s to around 80. With that south flow coming in off the ocean, it really helped to keep things a lot better than they could have been. Lows, it wasn't that cold last night. Mid 60s, generally no radiational cooling as we got this humid air. There are a couple of things we've got to talk about here that we're on. So let's first get our climatological report for islip. And you'll see here a high of 79, 7 degrees above normal, low of 65, 9 degrees above normal. So we're 8 degrees above normal for the day. And if we look at, if you were in Newark, which is typical of New Jersey, 88. It hit 88 at Newark, so it's the same as Toms River, 13 degrees above normal. Absolutely stifling. This is ridiculous. Now we're in astronomical fall, and we're going through this weather. The good thing is it is bringing some rain, some thunderstorm activity, but the bad news is none of it's over Long Island. It's all inland. There's a pretty decent thunderstorm around Cortland in New Jersey there. Or I'm in upstate New York, and also some around Philadelphia. We may get into some of this later tonight, I'm hoping. So at least we can get some rain out of this because, again, things have been pretty dry, very dry. Like I said, I think we're in a moderate drought, even though that drought map does not show it. We're definitely going to have to be concerned about that. Looking at our satellite image here, we'll pan this out a little hard. You can see there's low over here. So just kind of a disorganized-looking map right now. I'll on this a little bit. Well, you can see Gabrielle is kind of off the picture now. I think it's over here somewhere. It has weakened. This doesn't really want to load. Let's do Gabrielle here. Let's take a look at Gabrielle and see if that's going to work. All right. No, I guess not. All right. Let's go to the latest from the Hurricane Center on Gabrielle. So Gabrielle is moving away, but there are two new areas that they are watching here. 90 and 70% chance of formation. So now all of a sudden, the switch has been set. The switch, somebody flicked the switch. And now we're starting to see a lot of activity. All right, I'm clicking on Gabrielle. Why is it not taking me there? Okay. Let's go look at the public advisory here. Gabrielle expected to move near the Azores as a hurricane in a couple of days. So this is unusual. The Azores is going to be hit by a hurricane. That's very unusual. As of 8 p.m., its location 34.8 north, 55.2 west, about 580 miles. East-northeast of Bermuda, about 1,575 miles west of the Azores. Maximum sustained winds 125 miles an hour. And it moving east-northeast at 21 miles an hour. So it's moving pretty quick. And the extent, it is a Category 3 hurricane. There will be weakening, but it's still expected to be a hurricane when it passes through the Azores. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 45 miles from the center. Tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 140 miles from the center. The minimum central pressure, 28.15 inches, so that's very low. 28.15 inches, 153 millibars, very low. Let's see if we can get some more information. Let's get some more um, images of Gabrielle here. So here we are, still looking pretty healthy, I might add. It's starting to weaken a little bit, but still looking decent. I will say that. And then we've got to watch these other areas that are. So that's why I really wanted to pull up that satellite and see if we can do that. Get this to work. All right, I'm going to try it again. Storms. Gabrielle. Okay, here we go. So here's Gabrielle. You can see it moving east-northeast. So it's a very unusual track that far south to be pushed in. And it's far enough south that it's going to be able to hold on to its intensity. So if we go back over here, we look at the storm track and go to the hurricane center here. You'll see this is the warning call. So you can see, look at that. Look at that. It has it actually, hitting. Look at this. There's actually hurricane watches for the Azores. This is very unusual to see. And then it's still going to be some kind of tropical system. Maybe when it gets to Portugal or Spain, you can't rule this out. So it would be Friday, over a Friday morning, that would hit the Azores. There was a pretty bad hurricane in the Pacific. I don't talk about Pacific hurricanes. There was a pretty bad typhoon, I should say, because that's what they're called over there. Just stay tuned to posts. I'll try to see if I can find out some information on that. But you can see here, very interesting to see that in there. Very interesting. And if we go to the spaghetti models, you'll see here. Take a look at that. Yeah, to have it. This is extremely unusual to see. Heading right for Spain. Spain and Portugal almost never get hurricanes, or tropical systems. So very, very unusual. But this is what happens when the jet streams are all messed up due to climate change. This is exactly what happens. This is what you can expect more of. There are a couple of, I think there are a couple of invests. Let's see, I don't know if there are a couple of invests here that we're looking at here. Yeah, this is one of the others here, looking at here. And there's a couple of them, but it looks like they both recurve them out. So we'll go ahead and we'll just get over to the models. The hazards for us, actually, we have hazards for severe weather on Thursday now. So Thursday, they have put us in a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms. It's almost the entire area except for eastern Suffolk County. With a cold front that's going to be approaching, we have this warm, humid air mass in place, and there could be severe severe thunderstorms from this if we go to the Weather Prediction Center. You'll see, here's this front. So day 2, day 3, you can see it's kind of stalled out. You got waves of low pressure along it, but the Thursday, we get warm sector, a classic warm sector with a cold front approaching, and that is when we really have to worry about possible severe weather. Marginal risk, maybe our last chance for some severe thunderstorms as the fall gets here and things kind of quiet down a little bit. Right now, again, the radar not showing much of anything except outside of Long Island. Let's go and look at our models here. We'll just cover the so this is the European at 18Z. And you can see here, tomorrow we may have a few showers, but it's Thursday. It's going to be the active day with that cold front coming through. You can see it there, and then it slowly sinks to the south as we get toward the weekend, and high pressure tries to build in. But we have to watch this. Look at this. Look at what the Euro's doing here. This is really unusual. It's got 2 hurricanes right here, 2 tropical systems. But see, the problem is we have this front that's stalled out still to the south. This high is trying to build in, but you see as we get it next week, I'll just go into it because we have it up here. And this, they both get pushed out, though, it looks like. But look at what this one does. So things could get interesting next week. I'm not going to go. We're not going to go there right now. But as far as this week goes, we've got the unsettled weather to deal with, the stall front syndrome. That we're going to be dealing with. And if we look at the European again, as far as the total amount of rainfall, hopefully by Friday we start to dry things out. But as far as the total amount of rainfall goes, the Euro is still calling for possibly as much as an inch of rain, perhaps a little more in some areas. But this is more of a shorter range update, so I'm going to go to the HRRR, which should have mostly in now. Let's go to that HRRR. We're going to go look at the radar. Radar here. So, see, it's got some shower. We may get some rain overnight. Tomorrow, mostly dry, but as we get toward the evening, that's when some showers and thunderstorms could pop up. You can see there, mostly, again, missing Long Island. That's not what I want to see. Going inland again. Again, missing out. It looks like as we get later, maybe into Thursday. This is it's actually moving a little quicker now, bringing some shower and thunderstorm threat. But again, mainly to the north again. But hopefully there's a line that develops on Thursday, and we can get some thunderstorm activity. But this is not really that impressive when it comes to rainfall. If we look at the total accumulated precipitation, look, it all goes to the northwest, and look, we get almost nothing here on Long Island. That really is going to suck if that happens. I'm going to be pissed. They get soaked out inland, and then we get nothing out of it. This is what the HRRR seems to think. I'm hoping it's wrong. And you got to remember, it only goes out to 0Z, so I'm hoping that cold front, when it comes through, will bring in some rainfall that we need. So we look at dew points. Obviously, it's going to be staying humid, so dew points are going to stay up there. Southerly winds tomorrow. Very muggy. You can see there's the stalled front. You can see if you're over in Maine, it's a lot more comfortable. But we stay in the humidity through Thursday night. You can see that humid flow there. And the temperatures, that's all part of whether we get thunderstorm activity or not. Not that warm tomorrow because a lot of cloud cover, but it looks like maybe if you're inland and maybe if you're in Jersey, you might deal with 80s again. I don't think we'll see 80 here on Long Island. And then for Thursday, a lot cooler because I think we'll have a lot more cloud cover, and that will help. But that'll also help stabilize things, and that could be a problem too if we want to have thunderstorms on Long Island. If we look at Cape, best Cape off to the west. Here's Thursday again, same thing. Best Cape off to the west. That's what the HRRR is showing. Let's now go over to the NAM3. I only have this. I was hoping by being a little bit later we'd have a little more of that, but we're going to have to make do with the 18Z run on the NAM. So, again, all the action seems to be off to the north and west. However, it looks like it tries to get it a little bit closer to us overnight, Wednesday night into Thursday. Hopefully we can get some showers and thunderstorms in here. But then this is the line. And this is actually, the NAM's impressive here. The afternoon, that could be a nice line right there. And there actually could be one line and then another line coming through later. So that would be great. Not only could we get some thunderstorm activity, but we get some rainfall. And if we look at the NAM here, total accumulated precip, looks a lot better for us. Brings that heavier rain closer. And, of course, then this is the NAM here. But the NAM, some areas could see 2 to 3 inches of rain. Heaviest, obviously, North Shore, but still, Long Island would get 1 to 2 inches from this. Jersey, not as much, but Jersey's been getting rain when we haven't, so we'll have to see. This is what the NAM has. This could change, of course, and it probably will. So let's go to the HDRPS model, which, again, this is the 18Z HDRPS, and also, this is through Thursday, and it looks like the HDRPS also giving us 1 to 2 inches of rain. Let's see what the HDRPS has here for us. So it looks like it's got a real area, like a training thunderstorms over us on Thursday. So again, if this was set up, this would be great. It would really help the drought situation, which we, again, desperately need rainfall here on Long Island. It's no joke. We've been extremely dry. Again, so far, if we look at the month here at Islip here, let's see what we got here at Islip. We'll go to today's climatological report. Islip has only gotten 1.24 inches of rain when we're normally supposed to see 2.72, and you've got to remember how dry last month was. So this is a big problem for us here. All right, so it's very, very dry out there. So this is a big problem. We really do need rainfall. So hopefully some of these weather models will prevail. We'll have to see exactly what happens here. We need those thunderstorms. It's not light where we need it. Thunderstorms, heavy rain, really soaking through the ground is what we need. And we need that badly. Lastly, I'll go to the RGM for precipitation. This is not a great model to use, but also kind of showing that there would be some thunderstorms. Here we go, another heavy one on Thursday and another one later on. So that would definitely, let's see, total accumulated precip. That also shows Long Island getting a lot of rain, 2 to 3 inches of rain, which, yeah, that's exactly what we need to get ourselves a little out of this. So I'm hoping that these weather models will be right. Let's just look at clouds. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of clouds around. That's no surprise. Tomorrow, you're going to have maybe a few peaks of sun, but mostly cloudy. Same for Thursday, even though they have the thunderstorms there. And then as we get into Friday, hopefully we can try to clear it out. You see what happens. This front just doesn't really make it that far to the south, so we'll have to see if we can clear it out for Saturday or not. All right now, that's here we go again with debating that. It's too early to tell on that. So Thursday looks like the stormiest day of the week, and hopefully we do get into some storminess on Thursday. Again, that's the kind of rain we need. Lastly, we can look at a few other things here. I'll just go here, and we're just going to move this to visibility. Just hopefully we don't have any of the annoying drizzle. So it looks like, let's see where tomorrow. Yeah, it's trying to show some drizzle, trying to move in tomorrow evening, perhaps. So there could be some, and then Thursday, drizzle will kill thunderstorms. So hopefully we don't have any of that. It's showing some, but not too much. So hopefully we get into some thunderstorm action. Looking at the thunderstorm, this is the cape on this. You can see the best cape is off to the west, but this is using the HRRR, which we know tends to be a little on the quieter side. And if I go to windy.com, should go to next. Let's go over here. We're going to go to thunderstorms. This is another cape thing here tomorrow. Not too much thunderstorms, but Thursday. Hopefully we get into some of this. Yeah, look at that. So hopefully we get into some of that, and that'll really help alleviate things a lot. So that's all I got for you tonight. If anything changes, maybe I'll have another video for you tomorrow night on this thunderstorm threat. Hopefully we get some rain on Thursday. Hopefully we get a decent amount of thunderstorm activity because it has been very, very dry. So have a good night.